How to get Swedish citizenship method 1. Obtaining Swedish citizenship through naturalization. Live in Sweden for the required amount of years. The most important part of gaining citizenship through naturalization is actually living in Sweden. Most people will be eligible to apply for naturalized citizenship after living in Sweden for 5 years. If you are already a Nordic citizen, you can apply after living in Sweden for 2 consecutive years. If you are married to a Swedish citizen and living in Sweden, apply for naturalized citizenship after 3 consecutive years of residence. Learning Swedish is not necessary for obtaining citizenship, and many Swedes are fluent in English and other Eurasian languages. Use your residency period to learn the Swedish language if you want to fully integrate into Swedish culture. Make sure you bring your valid passport from your country of origin. Apply for a residence permit. If you are spending over 90 consecutive days in Sweden, submit an application for a residence permit. Apply online on the Swedish Migration Agency website or submit an application in person at the Embassy of Sweden. You must be at least 18 years old and have a valid passport from your country of origin in order to apply for a residence permit. Part of the application process is an interview at the Embassy of Sweden. Be polite, prompt, and bring along the documentation that you provided when submitting your application. Apply for a work permit if you need income. Work permits are required for non-citizens to hold a job. Apply for a work permit online using the Swedish Migration Agency's website. Although it is not necessary, having gainful, permanent employment in Sweden will improve your chances of being granted Swedish citizenship. Employers actually initiate the work permit application by providing an offer of employment. If you need an income, secure a job offer before you apply for a work permit. Have a valid passport from your country of origin, a passport-size color photo of yourself, and your potential employer's offer of employment in hand before you apply for a work permit. There are different application forms for different types of work permits. Pay close attention and fill out the form that matches your job. Behave yourself while living in Sweden. The Swedish Migration Agency specifies that applicants for citizenship must have conducted themselves well while in Sweden. If you have unpaid debts and taxes or have committed a crime, wait for a specified period before you can apply for citizenship. This is called a qualifying period and its length depends on the severity of the debt or crime. If you have committed multiple crimes, the length of your qualifying period will be considerably longer. The qualifying period is usually calculated from the date the crime took place. If you served a prison sentence, however, the qualifying period does not begin until you have been released. Fill out your application for Swedish citizenship. Once you have fulfilled all of the criteria for citizenship, you can begin your application. The easiest way to apply is filling out the citizenship application on the Swedish Migration Agency's website. If you do not apply online, fill out form number 316,011, which is only available in the Swedish language, and mail it to the Swedish Migration Agency. Have the following items on hand to complete your application: a valid passport from your country of origin, your permit of residence, proof that you have lived in Sweden for the required amount of time, a valid email address, a credit card, debit card or another form of internet banking that you can use to pay the application fee. If you are applying through the mail, you must enclose your original documentation, including your passport, with your application. Wait for your decision. The Swedish Migration Agency is able to process online applications that have all of the necessary information the quickest. If the Swedish Migration Agency needs more information to make its decision, the process can take longer. Applications through the mail will take the longest amount of time for the Swedish Migration Agency to process. If your application for citizenship is rejected, make an appeal within 3 weeks of receiving the notice. You may remain in Sweden while the appeal is being reviewed, but you must leave the country if your appeal is refused. Stay tuned for How to Get Swedish Citizenship Method 2 and don't forget to subscribe and press bell icon.